What Everybody Wednesday has arrived once again. That's right, welcome back to another episode of the What Everybody podcast. Jonny here in the 33rd person, along with my hat-wearing buddy, Ryan Harris. On today's episode, is Jonny crazy or neurotic? We don't know, but we're going to get to the bottom of it. Ryan hangs with people who murder. Don't question it, we'll get to it, trust me. So as we know, grab yourself some rubber gloves, a butcher knife, and a cup of coffee, and enjoy the show. So with no further ado, Ryan and Jonny. Hello and welcome back to the What Everybody podcast. Hello, Ryan Harris. How you doing today, my friend?
What's up, dude? You changed your sweatshirt.
I did change my sweatshirt. And you know what else I changed today, Ryan Harris?
Your underwear, I hope. The new shoes.
Finally broke out one of the pairs. Now,
you
for
got some
anybody
brand
who's
new
familiar,
pink-ass shoes on.
Anybody who's familiar with the debate that we've had about my new shoes that took two different times to order because of drunkenness in the middle of the night, customs, fucked up the first time.
Yeah.
The debate
who you did.
I ordered.
Not them.
I did.
Not them.
No.
Yeah.
I did. The debate was, I got two pairs. Do I wear one of each pair and like go a little nutty? They're both nutty.
Yeah.
One's magenta suede and the other's turquoise suede.
Pink and green. Yeah, cool.
I just ended up going with the magentas straight up, both shoes.
Yeah, man.
Both shoes.
Yeah, I get it. Both shoes
magenta.
are pink. Both shoes are pink.
But I want to talk to you about Harris. I want to talk to you about something. I don't want to talk about Harris. I did just say I want to talk about Harris. I would like to talk about Harris. I mean, if only I could have you leave,
would like to talk
and I could just
with me about something.
I'd like. Well, I would.
Point of a
but
podcast,
I also,
Jonny. Do you talk shit about me to people when I'm not around?
No.
I don't really mean shit. I mean, like, are you just ever like Ryan's killing me today or something like that?
Well, yeah.
Because I've probably been guilty.
No, I mean, yeah, of course.
Yeah.
But it's usually just my girlfriend because she's there, and God bless her, because you know what? She's got a lot. Okay, so this leads me to my opening rant, which we'll get to, but God bless her because she's got a lot to hear from me. And like, I got to talk to somebody. Who am I going to talk to? My cat about it? They don't respond.
Yeah. Your point.
Yeah. My pet peeve of the week. I want to know something, Harris. I know I'm intense. I know I'm fucking nutty. I know I can be a fucking handful. I'm well aware of this. I'm neurotic, East Coast Jewish man. I am fucking nuts. I get it.
Okay.
But I want to know something. I get into arguments with people from time to time.
Yeah. Myself included.
Right. And sometimes people know how to push my buttons. Because people know if you push my buttons the right way, you can 150% get me to react, because I'm that guy, because I fell for it again. Okay.
Who are you arguing with? Freaking Dr. Evil?
I'm not going to talk. I'm not going to ever talk about who. This has happened not just with one person. This happens with multiple people that know me, because they know how to get
they
me.
They know how to get you riled, in which case you're off topic and not arguing.
I'm really good at arguing, but like Tom Brady, if you sack Tom Brady enough, he's really bad at throwing the ball because he's scared. Me, if you fluster me, then I get not happy. So
the point.
So people will push my buttons to get me to react, so they can say, "See, he's acting crazy again." Right? Yeah. So my question to you is, Harris.
That's manipulative.
Oh, dude. Yeah. And you know what, dude? A lot of people do it. And then they're like, see? You know? Yeah. So my question to you is this. Am I crazy? Or am I just neurotic? Oh, my God. My hair. Which one is it? And those were just examples. I was giving you examples of crazy and neurotic.
Okay, so my first comment is that I don't think I've ever been manipulative and tried to piss you off on purpose. At least if I have, it wasn't my intention. But crazy is more like you're going to snap. You're not crazy at all. You're not crazy. You're neurotic.
Give me an example of crazy, because like I snap, I'll yell, fuck you or whatnot.
Well, I mean, you're not helping me
I
prove
asked to say,
point.
just so you know, listen. Well, no, because maybe I am crazy. You don't have to try to defend my feelings. I want to know the fucking truth. The reality is I ask you because, this shit crosses my mind. Got into an argument with my brother the other day, and I'm thinking to myself, Now, he didn't do that to me the other day, but I was thinking to myself, he got mad at me.
Yeah.
And then and then he was saying I was mad, and I wasn't mad. And I was just like, this is like some kind of weird Jedi mind trick or something. Like, I don't understand what's going on here. But then I got off the phone, and I thought to myself, okay, had a couple of arguments in the last few months.
Yeah, bro, you're arguing too much. Calm it down. Take it to a 6, dude. Take it to a 6. You're neurotic. You're neurotic, and that's what brings out the, call it argumentativeness of that word of other people. It's like it's the Rain Man thing. You're detail oriented, and I don't want you can't put the cheese on it like that, and I need this and I need that, and there's probably a little bit of OCD going on in there where you're like, I want to do it this way, I don't want to do it that way, and if you get thrown to doing it that way, you're going to be a little bit scattered and weird. But that's not crazy, in my clearly professional opinion. Crazy would be like walking down the street losing your mind or something, like talking to walls.
That can't be the only definition of crazy. That's crazy in a mental kind of way, like you're ill, but
crazy's like you're a nut. You're gonna go do something that is like dangerous because you don't care or something like that.
There's a few people in my life who are the most mellow people you'll ever meet. Okay,
myself,
right, and yourself included in my next statement. And I'll say Jeff. He's another one. Ooh. Jeff is a very mellow guy too. Ooh. I've managed to piss off people who are the most mellowest people.
Yeah.
I've pissed them off enough where I've made them yell. And the only time I've ever heard these individuals ever yell was at me.
Yeah.
You included.
You've never heard me yell at anyone else?
No.
Yeah. I know I've yelled at you.
I know you've yelled at
me. Yeah.
Trust me.
It happens, dude. I mean, if you were somebody that I spoke to once a month or whatever, and I yell at you, then we're probably not that close of friends. But I mean, you're one of my best friends. I talk to you all the time.
Does yelling constitute as crazy?
Well, for me, yelling at you, it constitutes frustration.
People always tell me I'm yelling, and I don't feel like I'm yelling. Like, dude, you're yelling.
Oh, you have an intense voice. You have an intense voice. Whenever you're into something or you're talking about it with passion, like you're aggressive. You have an aggressive voice. That's not, who cares? That's not bad.
Yeah, I know. No, but it's so funny because I'm not yelling, and then like the person who
I feel
says,
like I'm trying to talk you off the ledge.
Yeah, listen, the person who says don't yell at me, and I'm like, that makes me want to yell.
Yeah.
At that point, I want to yell because you think that's
your natural
yelling?
response.
I'll show you what the fuck yelling is.
If someone says, "Why are you yelling at me?" Why can't you just be like, "I'm not yelling"?
I do say that, and they go, "Yes, you are."
All right, well, then maybe they're the ones being ornery.
Well, that's what I'm trying to get down here. That is the moral of all of this. Is it me?
Sometimes.
Or is it everyone else?
Sometimes.
I mean, I know I'm not perfect.
Well, look, I'll give credit where due. I don't think you're crazy. I think sometimes you're difficult.
Difficult's a good way to put it.
Hey,
that is a great word to, and it all goes back to the Karen thing then, because if am I difficult, am I a Karen? Like it all goes back, it's all hand in hand. But I think that's the best way to put it. I think I'm a difficult human.
Someone's gonna hear this and be like, well, crazy people are difficult.
Thanks, Harris. You just fucking.
And then we circle back around.
We're back to where we began.
Back to where we began. Episode 36, baby.
For me today? We are in episode 36. As we did say 36. Hello to everybody.
Yeah. Halfway to 72.
Halfway to 72. What do you have for me today, Harris? What do you got for me, buddy?
Dude, I went to the grocery store the other day, and this actually happened. So bear with me. I'll do my best to describe. I pull into the grocery store that I go to. It's a left-hand turn. And whenever I turn left, you're pretty much immediately in the lane where, the parking spots are angled, so you're going the right direction. If someone's coming the other way, they're going the wrong direction, which, whatever, but you're going the wrong direction. So I turn in, I'm going the right direction, and there's a car coming opposite direction, not in front of me, but in the other lane, and he decides to cut across the parking spots, and he's driving straight towards me. Now, does this person not see me? He would have to be blind because I'm going literally straight in the right way. And then he keeps going. Well, I'm not going to stop for him. I'm in the right lane, so I keep driving, looking for a parking spot. And as I get there, the guy is then forced to stop. And when he's forced to stop, he starts doing this hand motion and giving me gestures and clearly shouting at me for going the right direction down the right lane.
Does he know that you like your hands are like registered weapons?
They're not yet, but they could be if I keep practicing. Now he stops and he's doing this stuff. Now I stop my car. Now I'm right in front of him. He's beside me, and I look over to him and I go, "What do you want me to do?" I stopped my car and I said, "What do you want me to do?" And then I pulled and I parked and I got out of my car. And for a minute, I wanted him to get out of his car.
I almost wish he would have, and you could come tell me about this. And then there was somebody.
Then I would have had something to talk to you about.
Well, dude, I saw a video last night of it was a road rage incident. That's crazy, by the way. You should have just punched his window and broke it with your hand because they're weapons.
But no, I don't have that kind of spare money.
Right now, they're not registered. That's okay. You're illegally carrying your hands. It's all right. You'll get those registered. It'll be legal.
I'll get them one day.
I was watching a video yesterday. This shit's crazy. I do not understand. And it happened in Philly. I end up on this
parking lot.
Well, it was road rage. It wasn't in a parking lot. It was on the side of a street during daytime traffic, and all these people. Nobody stopped to help this girl. For whatever reason, this girl must have pissed off this truck. In this truck was another girl. Was a girl and a dude. The girl walks up to the girl who must have pissed him off, opens the door and just starts beating the shit out of her. And it's like, oh my God, what the hell's going on here? So then the dude comes over and you think he's getting in the way to break it up. Nope, not at all. He drags her out of the fucking car. The girl starts stomping on her head, and then this dude starts stomping on her head, and then they just got in the car and leave, and they have no license plates on the car, so nobody was able to get the license plate number. Haven't found them yet. How fucked up is that shit?
That's another reason that you don't jump out of your car. I mean, so the flip side would be like
the girl didn't get out of her car. The girl was in her car. They walked up to her car, opened the door. Yeah.
What if I jumped out of my car and I didn't get that great of a look at the guy, and he ends up being like 250-pound linebacker? Then what, tough guy?
Better yet, what happens if this happened to this kid that Interstate 5 down in San Diego yesterday? I saw this on the news. Some kid gets on the freeway. He's turning left onto the freeway, and some guy's coming from the other direction turning onto the freeway. And that guy turned so crazy that the dude who was turning left almost hit him. He didn't. He beeped his horn. He got in the right lane, passed him, got on the freeway. Well, this guy was not having any of it. This guy rolled up to him next to him and pulled out a fucking gun. This guy had his cell phone. Yeah. Pulled out a fucking gun and fucking pointed it at him. They caught that guy. That guy got arrested.
My dad had a gun pulled on him whenever I was a kid. I wasn't in the car.
Really?
It was my mom and my dad were just did like a stoplight or a stop sign or something like that, and the car pulled up next to him and looked over at my dad, and he like held a gun up. To the best of my memory, this was a long time ago. I think he was at a red light. I think he then like ran the red light, to get away from the guy, but like somehow ended up getting his license plate number. And he called the police and filed a report, and they found the guy, and the guy was like, he looked threatening or something like that. It's like,
that's funny. He was the one with the gun. We have a mutual friend that I don't want to mention names because I don't know if they like their names mentioned.
You're on that. That's your thing today. I'm not going to mention names. It's fine.
Right. Keep them. Protect the innocent. But this certain friend of ours refuses to buy into his own road rage anymore because I don't know, probably 10 years ago. I don't know how old he was at the time. He got into a road rage thing with somebody on the 101. He got off the freeway. When he got off the freeway, the dude got out of his car, came up to his car, and put a gun to his head.
Wow. Wait, so he pulled off the freeway. The guy followed him off the freeway.
Yeah.
And then he was
at the bottom of the ramp. The guy got out of his car and fucking came up and put a gun to his head.
Yeah. Now that would be crazy.
Yeah.
That's not difficult. That's not difficult or neurotic. That's pulling a gun because you're crazy.
I stumbled upon a video yesterday of this guy who was in court and he's crying hysterically. Well, it turns out this guy, who's a big TikTok star, him and his wife break up. And when him and his wife break up, he decides he's going to leave a camera on their kid's iPad, right?
Okay.
So he can see what's going on in the apartment that he got kicked out of. So he can
catch something that he can't unsee.
Right. So he caught something. He drives over to the apartment. He made a key without his wife knowing. Goes into the apartment, sees his wife getting down with a new dude, shoots them both in the head.
Yeesh.
He's like crying. Now, here's the fascination thing. That led me to another video. It led me to a video of people being sentenced for long periods of time for the crimes they did. I don't feel bad for them. Obviously, they did something to put themselves in this situation, and that's what you got to do. The crime, pay the time, right? Pay whatever the saying is. As you can tell, I'm not very experienced in the jailhouse world. Or
the using your words world.
Dude, I'll tell you something. Well, you know me. I'm the word man. You know me.
You know me as the word man.
I'm the word man.
Listen.
I find it really intriguing to sit there and watch people like being sentenced to a cage for the rest of their lives. It's so crazy. I can't even wrap the concept around my head.
That's pretty dark.
It's very dark, but it's not my dark, so it's not dark. It's like, this is life. That's what happens. You know, don't do shit.
Something
don't
like that.
Something
it's self-inflicted, right? Self-inflicted.
Right, self-inflicted. Then again, there's always the thing where people fuck up. For example, that Making a Murderer documentary where the guy went to prison. Originally, he went to prison for 18 years for a rape he didn't committed, gets out, sues the county, wins the lawsuit for millions of dollars before he could collect. It appears as if they planted a murder on his hands. Now he's in prison trying to fight that.
I thought you were talking about something different. I thought you were talking about the Robert Durst and what was it?
He's dead.
What was that called?
The Jinx.
And at the end of it, he admits it, and it's like,
yeah.
And then finally, like before he died, is he dead now? He died.
He died last week.
Oh wow, because he confessed. He confessed to all that stuff.
Did he confess? Wow. I don't know. He confessed He did confess.
He confessed. Spoiler alert. Unknowingly in the documentary, but then I feel it was like a month or two. It was like a month or two ago where it was like
dude, it's not a spoiler alert. That thing's been out for fucking years already, and if you haven't seen
that's
it,
why I'm talking about it. That's why I'm talking about it. But I'm just acknowledging that if you haven't seen it, that's a spoiler alert.
Dude, when that happened, I was just like, oh my god, this is
that was
awesome, dude. I'm so nuts. I drove up to Benedict Canyon and found that lady's house, the one that actually got him in prison. That murder, Sandra Berman was her name, I think, was it?
You drove to her house?
Well, I found it on Benedict Canyon. Yeah, I found it. I'm into that weird shit, dude. Like Christian, my buddy Christian's in town. My buddy Christian's in town, and I'm going to take him on Monday to all the O.J. Simpson murder case locations.
Whoa, you're going to
take him where the murder happened.
I'm going to start like a Hollywood.
Start where the route that OJ took up to the house where they tore down the house, but it's the land still there. They built a new house on it.
In a Bronco. Yeah. You got it. Instead of like Hollywood star tours, you could do like Hollywood murder tours.
There is
dark.
One. No, there is one. I went on one.
Oh, I don't doubt that it exists. Yeah. You went on one? What all did you see?
Oh God. Oh God.
You don't remember anything you saw. Mr. Detail Guy, Mr. Rayman, Mr. Date. Remember all the dates. You don't remember anything you saw on a murder tour.
I don't. There was nothing that I really cared about. It was
for the first time.
Yeah, I don't.
Since I've known you.
I don't remember. Surprised. It's kind of crazy. I'm kind of crazy. I also went to the Museum of Death. That I could tell you some things I saw on that, but.
No, I'm good. That's too dark for me, dude.
Well,
you think OJ did it?
Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
I do.
Sure.
I mean, granted, there's a new documentary out right now that gives another theory that he didn't do it. There's a couple of
Did you
theories.
see it? Can you give
I
me the
did
cliff
see
notes?
What was his? There's two of them actually. The one has to do with drug
Two
dealing.
innocent theories?
Yeah, two theories that would put it on other people than OJ. One is his son, who's a chef, who apparently the reservation for their dinner, instead of going to Mezzaluna, they were supposed to go to OJ's son's restaurant. They didn't go. OJ's son, who's known to have a really bad temper, got pissed, ended up killing Nicole, calling his dad, and his dad came to help cover up the scene, and that's why OJ's shit would be on the scene. That's one other theory. Then the other theory is Nicole Brown Simpson was caught up. This is the one that I saw recently. Nicole Brown Simpson was caught up in a drug world, like doing drugs, this, that, and the other thing, and a drug dealer killed her. I don't believe either of those. I think O.J. Simpson did it.
His blood was there, though, right? His blood was there, though, right?
Dude,
so
the socks they found in OJ's bedroom when they searched his house, because OJ apparently, and what happened was the limo driver saw somebody run across OJ's yard after the limo driver's trying to get a hold of OJ to take him to the airport, and nobody's answering the phone. Sees somebody run across the yard, sees a light go on in the house, and then all of a sudden OJ answers out of nowhere. And he came out really quick, but apparently he took a shower and he left the socks he was wearing on his bedroom floor. On his socks, they found both Ron Goldman and Nicole Brown Simpson's blood on his socks.
Yeah,
and then
it's just I was kind of young when all that went down, so I don't know the details, and I haven't watched any of the documentaries and stuff. But it's just like
I know the ins and outs. What do you want to know?
I want to know if the most likely theory of somebody else doing it, from what you just said, would be, I don't think his son's not going to kill somebody over not going to his restaurant. I don't think. I don't know.
Unless
but
his
if
son,
that were the case,
that wasn't his mom. OJ's son.
If that were the case, but if here, let me get my points out. If that were the case, I could see the justification of OJ being there, On the flip side, if it was a drug dealer thing, that makes the most sense for OJ being completely innocent. But why would he, if it was a drug deal gone bad, why would he be on the scene? I mean, you probably don't have the answer for that, but he did it. All his actions,
the only thing that makes
it
weird. Here's the only thing that is the one thing that just makes you scratch your head. It doesn't mean that he's innocent. It just means who else was there. It's been well documented that it looks like two people did it. Now, granted, they never talk about it, but if you dig deep into documentaries and stuff, there's theories of it's the way this is done. It's kind of hard for one person to do it. Now, granted, they don't have other fingerprints. They don't have other footprints leaving the scene. They have one set of footprints. Yeah. They have these dots, blood dots that are going up from on the left side of whoever did it. So there's blood-stained footprints leaving the scene of these really rare shoes that OJ happened to own, and only 4 pairs were sold in America in that size or some weird shit like that. Yeah. Right? That, and then...
and it matched. It matched.
Yeah. And then Bruno I don't know. They were rare shoes. I might be getting mixed up with the Night Stalker, who's avian.
The footprint matched the shoes. That's all you got to say. The footprint matched the shoes.
And there were little red dots of blood, as if he was bleeding from somewhere else, going along with the footprints. Okay, like little red dots. Those red dots.
Was OJ's blood?
I think so. Yes. And then. Or they might not have been able to get a conclusive answer on that blood. But the same red dots also went up OJ's driveway to the front door and into the house. Okay?
That's pretty solid.
But then on top of that is they knew it was on the left side of the killer's body because it was on the left. And OJ had an unexplainable deep wound on his left hand on a knuckle.
Yeah. I met OJ.
That's scary. How'd you meet OJ Simpson?
I was in Miami, and I was with my old band, and we met OJ. It was weird. It was
Doesn't he
because
live in
like
Miami?
I have no idea, but I'll tell you this. He's in the whole, like the hello Twitter world, it's yours truly, whatever he does on Twitter. He's like very in the public eye still. Makes you wonder why.
Yeah.
But
I
fell into it, dude. I fell into it. It was a couple years back, but like it was after that trial, obviously, and part of me was like cool to meet him, and then afterwards I was like, I like the reaction surprised me because like I should have just been like, forget that guy.
Did you shake his hand?
Yeah. It was
That's
weird. He had like,
fucked
here, I'll
up.
show you the picture. Hang on.
You
Hang on. Let me
shook
show you
a
that.
hand of a guy who fucking took a knife all the way to the fucking bones in her neck.
Yeah, I did.
That's insane. And
Let's
I've
talk about it
shaken
because
your
like,
hand. Oh, God, that's horrible.
Yeah.
Hi.
Yeah. 6 degrees of separation, dude. Check it out.
That's 3 degrees. I don't know what's worse, OJ
Yep.
or the way you guys are dressed in that fucking picture.
It's not a good look. I'm not trying to defend my look, but that's the juice, man.
Do you have lipstick on?
Yeah. No.
Yeah?
I had
No?
weird clothes on, but I didn't have lipstick on.
You had no makeup on there? There's no makeup there?
Might have had a little guy liner on. I'm not denying that.
Little guy liner.
we were at the
That's so funny.
we were at the VMAs, and he had this guy with him that was like this hype man, and he was walking around just bouncing all over the place. His friend, like, you want to meet the juice? You want to meet the juice?
Dude,
OJ.
that was his.
Oh, do you want to meet OJ? You want to meet OJ?
That's the
He came
guy
up.
who
He's like,
made-
you guys want to meet
that's the
OJ? And
guy-
we were like,
That's the guy who's made the latest documentary. It's just come out recently. This is the guy that like managed OJ. He was like, I can make OJ a
Yeah.
star again. And then this guy came into his life. You got to watch this documentary. Maybe you saw this guy. This guy might have been there. I don't know.
is he in the documentary?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have to watch it.
OJ? OJ's not in the documentary because OJ'd be really pissed.
No, the
if,
guy. The guy.
yeah.
I would probably. I feel like I would remember the face if I saw it of the guy that was doing it. But he was bouncing all around. You want to meet OJ? You want to meet OJ? And we did. And then my buddy,
Why?
and then Jason, my friend Jason, he was in the picture too. He had like a tie on, and I remember afterwards he was like, I want to get him to sign my necktie. And I don't know why we thought that was so funny, but it was funny at the time.
Because he slipped.
Should I
the
ask him
neck.
to sign my necktie? Yeah.
That's intense. You should like. Okay, so what? How did that make you feel later? Like hold on a second. Show you
Confused because it's interesting to meet somebody that you've heard of, and then on the flip side, I didn't immediately say no, that guy's a piece of shit, So I guess I can't pass judgment on people that follow him on Twitter.
Hey, on that same album, I wrote a song about my first girlfriend. It was called Ghost of Swift Buddy. It sounds like I'm talking about a car, but really, it's about my first girlfriend that I ever had.
It's called what?
Ghost of Swift Buddy. You want to hear it?
You said it twice and I still didn't understand you. Ghost of
Swift Buddy. Swift Buddy was the first. All right, my very first car was a Suzuki Swift GTI.
Oh. Okay.
And wait, I want to close it. It was
I can't not give you shit, dude. I can't not give you shit. Let's do that. Okay. I don't care about don't pull the song up. Please don't pull the song up. I have a question for you. You asked me, you started this podcast off by being like, am I crazy or am I neurotic? Am I an asshole or just enjoy giving you a hard time because you make it so easy?
I've got to be honest with you and say that your behavior does not at all stick out to me as odd behavior from anybody, because the reality of it is, for my entire life, I set myself up. I am probably the most liked, picked on guy in the world.
The most liked, picked on guy, meaning like you have
people like me,
friends that
and when they pick
you.
on me,
Yeah.
they're not like picking on me in a malicious way. They're just picking on me because I set myself up
Because
constantly
you set yourself
to get
up
picked
for
on.
it. Yeah.
So all I'm
Yeah.
saying is you feel bad about picking on me, and to me, that's how people treat me every day. So I don't see anything like a not once have I thought like, God, Ryan's picking on me. Never once.
So don't feel bad. Noted. So
No,
don't feel bad.
don't feel bad.
Noted. All right. You want me to steer the ship? I'm gonna steer it towards some quick response questions, as we like to do. Crazy versus neurotic. Ask me a question.
All right. Is this crazy or neurotic kind of thing? Like I'm going to say something and you'll say crazy or neurotic. Is that kind of thing?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Could you change your gloves before you make my sandwich?
Could you change your gloves before? That's neither crazy nor neurotic.
I'm at Subway, and I
Yeah.
watched, the what do they call them? Sandwich artist. I watch a sandwich artist.
Makers, sandwich artists.
No.
No,
what
they should
call
change
them
their
at Subway.
gloves.
They're sandwich artists. I want to respect their title. They're grabbing peppers, they're grabbing this, they're grabbing that, they're touching the cheese. They come right over and they're like, "What can I get you?" And my first response is, "Hey, can you please change the gloves?" And I get the look every time. Ugh. Really? Recently, though, at Chipotle, I didn't get the look. The guy was like, "Yeah, no problem."
Hey, dude, sorry you're
That's
getting
rare.
paid.
Yeah, that's what I think.
That's neither crazy nor neurotic.
Sorry, I don't want that guy's bell peppers all over my bread on the outside.
Yeah, no, I got your back on that one. That's
So what is
neither.
it, crazy or neurotic? How's it neither? It's got to be something, isn't it? Would you be good with that? Would you ask?
It's
Let me
certainly
ask you
not-
this: would you ask them to change the gloves? Because sometimes you just you're not very vocal like that.
I would ask them under the premise of like I watched them touch something like dirty or like wipe their face or something like that. If I saw that, I would ask them to change their gloves. Now you would see them touch something that you don't want to eat and you have that same response. So why is it not crazy? Is because it's not crazy. Why is it not neurotic? Because it's not weird. You have another another person handling your food and you want them to put a clean pair of gloves on. That's all good.
Another question.
Okay.
Now, with the same concept in mind, where like you walk down the line and you get stuff put onto your sandwich, put yourself at Chipotle. I'm pretty sure everybody knows what a Chipotle is, but if you don't, it's basically like Subway, except it's Mexican food. Okay?
Rice, chicken, burrito.
When I get down to where the hot sauce is and they're making my burrito,
Yeah.
the hot sauce is right next to the sour cream. I don't like sour cream. You can see where there's been sour cream while pouring on somebody else's
Like
food.
little transfer loss. Yeah.
Drops into the hot sauce. And I'll say to the guy who's about to put the hot sauce on my burrito, I'll say, hey, is it possible if you could stay away from the sour cream? Once again, I'll get the look. So in that scenario, neurotic, crazy, or just being a pain in the ass?
Dude, again, I don't think there's anything wrong with it. You don't want sour cream on your burrito and you ask the guy to make sure that it doesn't end up on there.
Okay, so I want to say that by me asking you these questions, you have now answered a question for me that has been a lifelong question that I've been battling, which is, because everybody's always like, why do you always got to be a pain in the ass? I do something like that, and anybody is around me, they're like, dude, you're being such a pain. Oh, here goes Johnny being Johnny.
Yeah.
Crazy Johnny.
And spit it out.
But I'm not crazy. I'm not crazy just because those
I already
people
told you that.
say that. Right, but
I
I'm
already
just
told you
saying that,
that.
I always feel
Who
bad.
you choose to believe? Who you choose to believe? Up to you.
Because people say that to
My
me.
dude.
When people say that when I'm doing it, it makes me feel bad that when I find myself in the scenario, the next time I get anxious because I'm like, oh, now I got to ask this person. I feel bad.
Dude, if you're paying for food and you have a preference, get what you're paying for.
This is why we do a podcast together, because that's how I feel. It's principle. It's principle, right?
You annoy people.
I'm but I'm the nicest fucking guy. I don't get it.
Yeah, I don't know.
I annoy people. That I do. That'll be the name of my fucking solo record. Johnny U, debut album. I annoy people.
All right, I got a question for you. What's the worst park job you've ever done? What's the most annoying thing you've done in your car where you were like, if somebody did that, I would be annoyed at that? You can acknowledge your own mistake.
Happened last weekend. And I knew better. I can't order a large coffee from Starbucks because their cups, for whatever reason, don't quite fit the same. They're like taller than the 7-Eleven ones. So they're top heavy. And I went over a speed bump and all the coffee came out the top and like all over my fucking like area, like where my gear shift is. That really annoyed me. Not paying attention to my coffee. So if somebody else was to not paying attention to their coffee in my car and it made a mess, that would make me annoyed.
Oh, yeah. No, that's not what I meant by my question. I meant like, did you ever take up 2 spots or did you ever cut someone off and you were like, oh, that was totally my bad. I'm an asshole.
Yeah. I have a crazy blind spot in my car. Like the way I have one of those like futuristic looking fucking things and like my back window's kind of small.
You have a Prius, don't you?
No.
Man, dude, I keep forgetting that you got a new car. My bad.
And I got it before you left LA.
I know.
I parked it right outside your apartment. So
I've been in it.
Oh, right. You have. I picked you up from the airport in it.
From the airport. Yeah.
Yeah.
Jeez. Thanks for that.
So my back window is like on the smaller side. There's a real fucking crazy blind spot. So sometimes I'll cut into a lane and be like, oh, hey, didn't see that guy. But I should be looking because I got one of those blinking orange lights on my side mirror that should help me out with that. I don't understand your question.
Story. My question was boring. Move on. Your turn.
Oh, God, I wasted all my energy fucking thinking of the answer to that. Would you say not touching the handle in a men's bathroom on the way out is neurotic or crazy?
It's OCD, and I do it. I'll get a paper
touch
towel.
The handle. Oh yeah, I won't. Touch
No.
it.
I'll get it. I'll get a paper towel, and I'll like. Usually, it works out that the garbage can is reachable, so I like open the door. I'll put my foot there, in, throw it away, and then like walk out. You do that too?
Usuals. Yep. We use the same technique.
I do things to prevent getting sick, dude. At least I try to. I don't know.
Dude, I was doing that long before this pandemic. When it comes to one thing that was OCD, I've always been, long before the pandemic, OCD about washing my hands and touching shit. I never have used my hands to open the fucking door anywhere for anything.
Yeah.
A second part to that question, the bathroom question and OCD. Another thing that I'll do it in the last fucking resort, bro. I hate using urinals. I think it is the most disgusting, grossest fucking. Once I had learned that they did the black light thing, you see piss everywhere on the ceiling. Hold on. Where you see piss everywhere on the ceiling, there is no way that if you piss into a urinal, 10 other dudes' piss is flying back on your hands and your jock. You know what I'm saying?
All you got to do,
I'll wait for the fucking stall.
Use a urinal with shorts on, and you realize how much you're getting splashed on. I try to dude. Thanks for this question. I try to angle it, and in my own OCD brain, I'm like, oh, I'm avoiding the splash because I'm using the right angle.
But meanwhile, you're just angling it higher, which means it's actually getting on you closer.
Meanwhile, it's just splashing on my shoes or some different spot. I get that. But
you want to hear something funny? So wait, real quick, is that neurotic or crazy that I won't use a urinal?
This stuff is all kind of. It's more like OCD. OCD in the way of like I have things that I do and I have things that I will and won't do, and I stick to that.
I was out and about last week, and it was nighttime, and I had to take a piss really bad, and I was probably about 20 minutes from home. I'm like, what am I going to do? I'm like, all right, I got to take a piss. I'm like, okay, it's dark. I'll just get out real quick and do this. So I just got out. I'm taking a piss right there. I get back in the car. I'm like, I'm wearing my sweatpants. I'm like, why do my shins feel damp? I was just pissing so quick. It was just splashing, and I had to go so bad that it splashed all up on my fucking legs, bro. Yeah. I've been saying bro a lot today. Bro's the word for the day, bro.
Brah.
Yo, brah. Can we make it brah?
It's your own pee, brah.
Well, yeah, I've heard that one of the new cures for COVID is to drink your own piss. Is this true?
Oh, well, I mean, I heard you just say that right now, so it must be true.
It is not true. I'm making this really clear. That is not a true statement.
Ever tell you about the time that I washed my hands? I washed my hands unknowingly, obviously, with piss.
No. What?
We were touring, and we made a stop, and I was like, hop out, pee outside, got back in, and there was a container of water. I wanted to wash my hands, like dump water in my hands. And what had happened was somebody had used an empty gallon of water while we were driving to piss in that gallon, hadn't thrown it away yet. And when we stopped, I was like, there's water. I'm going to wash my hands. So I dumped pee in my hands. So as soon as I went like that, I was like, oh,
why would there be a
no.
bucket of water in the van? Like, what were you thinking to think that somebody just has a bucket of water in the van?
I saw a gallon jug and I thought it was a half gallon of water.
Oh, it wasn't. I thought it was like a bucket you would carry with a handle.
No, it was like a milk carton, or it was like a milk jug, like a gallon milk jug. But you know how you can buy like a gallon of water? It was that. And then I dumped it on my hand. And I was like, oh, it didn't feel right. And I was like, oh, it's piss. It's piss. And I just like, and now it's all over my, it's not mine either. It was somebody else's. And I just like.
No one knew. Anybody who knows Ryan Harris know how funny he is. And if you don't know Ryan Harris like I do, I'll tell you, that's hilarious. This guy's the most OCD dude ever. That must have drove you crazy.
It was not fun. But it was my own fault. You can't get mad at somebody.
Did you figure out whose piss it was?
Yeah, I knew whose piss it was. No. Moving on. Hey, dude, so in the scenario of me meeting OJ and you gave me shit because you were like, well, you shook the hand of a murderer. How would you react if you met OJ?
Probably the same way.
I'm not asking you to be
I
like,
will.
oh,
and you know what? You know what's
honestly,
great?
How would you react?
I just called you an asshole because I have a direct
what the
example.
Heck, dude?
I have a direct example that...
Call me a bad person?
You're demented, but not a bad person. Sick? Maybe. Not
because I met OJ?
Because you wanted to meet OJ.
Dude, answer my question. Well, how would you react?
The same way I did when... Okay, I used to work at this restaurant in Beverly Hills called The Ivy. I was a maitre d'. I come to work one day. I walk into the back dining room because that's just like a cut through to another part of the restaurant. And there sitting Robert Blake on the day that he got acquitted for killing his wife. He was sitting in the dining room. He's a famous actor from the 70s. He was in a show called what was it called? Beretta or something.
It was called Who Cares? It was called Who Cares? He got away with murdering somebody.
Google Robert Blake, famous Hollywood star who got away. I didn't meet him. I walked in, I turned the corner, I see him. I stop in my tracks, I turn around and walk the other direction and say to myself, oh my God, murderer.
Okay. All right.
That's what happened. Cool. I got freaked out. Wanted to be nowhere near that fucking scumbag.
All right, you're a better person. I got it.
I
don't have to rub it in.
I don't know if I can shake your hand anymore.
I'm not still in communication with him.
I feel dirty and I didn't even touch him directly.
Also, I may have had an adult beverage or two, dude, you know?
Well, I mean, maybe if I had a couple of drinks, I might have been like, yo, Robert Blake, so how'd you get away with that? And I wouldn't have shook his hand. I might have looked at his hands, though. I would have looked at his hands. I'd be like, those were the hands that did it. Kind of like when I saw Billy Joel come into the Ivy when I was working there, and he was sitting at the table in front of the host stand. And I looked at his hands. I couldn't stop staring at his hands, and all I was saying to myself was like, it's the piano man's hands. It's the piano man's hands. With OJ, it'd be different. It'd be like, it's the killer's hands. Oh, my God, those are the hands that killed her. Oh, my God. Then I would have looked up and I'd be like, why is Ryan talking to a murderer?
I was overloaded, man. There was like famous people everywhere, and I don't know. That's how I reacted at that time.
So
that makes me sound like a douchebag. There was like
Speaking of douchebags, let me ask you this question. I take my car in for service yesterday. The guy, it's early. I got up real early. I had to have my car there at like 7 o'clock or some shit. So I'm not awake yet because I didn't get coffee at 7-Eleven because they got the free coffee over there at the car dealership when I'm waiting. And like, why pay for coffee when I can get it for free, right?
Makes sense. Mm-hmm.
Right. So I'm not awake yet. The guy walked up to my window. He's like, got a reservation? I'm like, yeah. He's going through his list. He's like, you sure you got a reservation? I'm like, yeah, here. So I ended up giving the guy an attitude. My question to you is, crazy, neurotic, or asshole? When people ask stupid questions, I get irritated and not meaning to show my emotions, but because I'm wear my emotions on a sleeve kind of guy, they get my attitude. So
Yeah.
there's the question. Crazy, neurotic, or just an asshole?
Neurotic is I only eat the green M&Ms. I don't want the cheese on there, and I'll watch you and make sure. No, you can't scrape it off. You got to remake it. I don't do that. I've never had an olive before. What does an olive taste like? It's like it tastes like an olive. I can't explain.
That's what I do.
That's neurotic.
That's what
neurotic.
I do. Yeah.
It's not neurotic whenever someone's an asshole and they annoy you. You know, if that guy comes up and gives you attitude, you just woke up early, you haven't had coffee yet. The guy's giving you an attitude. You respond to that attitude. That's not neurotic. That's just like human nature.
I do got to say,
if that guy gave you attitude and you went to the back of your car and got one of those little wooden kid baseball bats that they gave away when you were little, you know, and you were like, that would be crazy.
After I had my coffee and I'd woken up a bit, I did apologize for coming in so hot this morning. Which kind of makes me feel like a pussy now, but in the same token, it was the right thing to do because
You're not a pussy for saying I'm sorry if you felt that way.
Yeah, I felt like I might have...
Did he accept your apology?
Yeah, of course. He's like, no big deal. He might have not even thought anything of it. I'm probably a lot nicer than most of the people.
You're leaving details. You're leaving details out. I'm just gonna let it go right there.
What about the part where I said, listen, motherfucker? Why are you questioning me? I fucking went into my trunk. I got one of those little bats you get at the fucking Dodgers game. You know, they fucking give away on Tuesdays.
Yeah.
I shoved it right up his ass. Shoved it right up his ass. You remember the movie The Warriors?
Yeah.
Turn him into a fucking popsicle, you know?
Oh, yeah. Huh?
Crazy, neurotic, or just an asshole?
That's just an asshole. Just an asshole. Literally and figuratively with the bat, you know. All right, man, let's get out of here. Before we do final question of the day, give me some good advice for my day.
You know what the best advice is? I'll tell you what the best advice is. This is it. Live in today. Don't worry about tomorrow. Don't worry about the past. You live today. Whatever's in front of you, and just appreciate I'm here right now. Don't worry about shit because you know what? I might not be here tomorrow. You never know. Can't tell the future. I'm gonna.
Oh, good, man. I hope you're here tomorrow because we have another podcast to do next week, and I want to continue on down the road, halfway to 72.
Halfway to 72. And everybody, thank you for joining us again here on the What Everybody podcast. We took you on a little ride. We journeyed through fucking some history through the Los Angeles.
We were random. We were super random today.
A little neurotic and crazy. Yeah, random is good though.
Yeah.
Random is good. Some days you get us random.
That's not
Some days we get cool guests like we had last week. So join us next week. In the meantime, go to whateverbuddy.com. Make sure to subscribe in all your favorite places. Your iPods always on iPod. What's an iPod? Do they even have iPods anymore? Oh God, forget it. I meant Apple Podcast.
Hey, neurotic, wrap it up.
Spotify, Stitcher, go to the YouTube, subscribe. It's pretty cool. We'll see you next week. Yeah. Until next What Everybody Wednesday, this What Everybody Wednesday is out of here. Later.
Take care of yourselves and be kind in parking lots.
Words
see you
of
next
wisdom,
time.
Ryan Harris.
This guy.
Later.